Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Happy New Year's Eve or Happy New Year's, depending on when you listen to this episode. Now, Alex, Reese and I are still on a break this week, but don't worry, we've got an extra special treat, and that is a recent episode of The Mimic's Veil for you to listen to. Now, I hear some of you still aren't subscribed to this, so please do give it a listen, and if you like what you hear, check out The Mimic's Veil on all of your podcasts and YouTube and all that lot, and give them a subscribe. So here are Alex, Ben, and Lewis discussing their favourite games of 2024, starting with Balatro.
So, Game of the Year 2024, serious business, and I think we have to start with Balatro.
Is that why you're wearing a t-shirt?
That is why I'm wearing my Jimbo t-shirt. I mean, in terms of a game that we have all put a decent amount of time into and all very much enjoyed, this is the front runner, I think.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Us as a podcast, as a unit, I think this is the one that we all probably agree on.
Probably the only one.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we're all friends at the end of this. But I just think, yeah, for a game to kind of come out of nowhere and just be so... What is it? Why? Why has it become so ubiquitous? Why is it taking over people's lives to such an extent?
Because it's... because of the maths.
All that math.
Because it's simple. I mean, because the concept is simple and everybody not everybody understands poker, but everybody recognises poker, I think is maybe a better way of putting it. And it just gets such a buzz at the beginning that everyone was then interested in it. It just generated such a... I don't know what it generated, but it generated something that got everyone going in.
Because of whatever it generated, I tried to avoid it. I was like, I'm not getting suckered into this. Guys. But I did. But yeah, it did generate something.
Why did you fight that urge? Because you're such a contrarian that you will go, no, that thing that's universally acclaimed and is making people happy. No, but why did you actually take the plunge? Was it because it was cheap? That sounds like an insult to you, actually.
That's like an insult to Scott.
Yeah, I think I paid full price for it, actually. No, I was discussing this with one of the guys at my work today. If I see others having fun, then I don't want any part of it.
I get that. I was like that when 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying came out. I was like, I'm not interested in that.
So was I,
like,
but I mean, that's because it's shit.
It's a really good album, but I didn't listen to it for like a couple of years.
I just was seeing everyone talk about it. I mean, it was like with Prince of Persia, but unlike Prince of Persia, this is a good game. I just no big rooms in Balatro. It puts me off when I see people hyping things up across not just games, across life. I'm fine. I'll come to it eventually, and I did. And like whatever it was generating when it first came out, my goodness me, is it addictive? Card game addictive.
You'd have thought. Yeah, it's. I liken it a little bit to Vampire Survivors. How that kind of was just this really simple concept that was just, you got this kind of endorphin hit every few minutes or whatever. Very similar to Balatro in terms of that, but I do feel like Balatro's gone the extra mile and almost, I wouldn't say it's gone fully mainstream, because you saw a little bit of backlash when the Game Awards nominees came out and that was in there. There was a bit like the mainstream, like your Call of Duty players or whatever would be like, oh, what's this stupid card game with shit graphics? Like, there was a bit of that still.
I'm surprised they finished that sentence, because normally your Call of Duty gamers would be like, what's this stupid?
Yeah. So yeah,
Sorry,
it was.
Call of Duty gamers.
Sorry, I still need to
I'm
play
not
that.
sorry.
Actually, do you know what?
Reese.
That is. We'll get round to games that we haven't got round to, but Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. Is it Black Ops 6?
Yes.
Yeah, I've had that downloaded on my Xbox since day one and haven't touched it. I'm like, I just
Beauty of the Xbox.
yeah, the fucking downside of Game Pass, isn't it? But yeah, I think Balatro is a special one, and I think like if for any reason anyone hasn't played it already, like it's so the barrier to entry is so low
You
as
can
well.
play your phone now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dangerous. It's a dangerous phone game.
Oh, I've avoided it from my phone
Yeah.
at all costs.
Yeah, same. But yeah, talking about you being cheap, Lewis, I haven't bought it on my phone because it's like £10. I'm not paying that. I've got that on every other platform for like
So
a couple of
different
quid.
on a phone, though, isn't it? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not playing on a phone, no chance.
Exactly.
It works so well. It's on Apple Arcade, so I got it as part of a
okay.
subscription. But it
Fair
works so well on the phone.
I've heard it's kind of like the definitive version of it in a way. It almost works better on a phone.
Like Grindstone. I can't imagine playing Grindstone on a console using the stick. I know you can play it using your finger on the Switch, but that's filth. It just works so well. One of those games that works so well. Balatro's the same. Just makes sense.
Shit.
I think going back to your original point and why, and I think there was very much, I think particularly for quite a few of us, it was like who can beat it. There's that bit of it is who's going to finish that run first, like who's going to do it, and I'm sure it was me.
Oh no, it was me.
No, I'm
Pretty
sure
sure.
it was me.
I'm pretty sure it was me. That's
I'm sure it was you, as
Phil.
well, but I mean, like, let's not have you dancing. Let's not be patting ourselves in the back too much. For goodness sake.
no.
He's gone there and he's worn the t-shirt. Like, come on.
And then I didn't touch it again
Yeah.
after that. No, I'm genuinely I'm not sure who it was that beat it first.
Alex knows all the proper ins and outs of the game, like how you can add multipliers. When we were at EGX on the way in on the last day, I'm sure it was the last day.
Yeah,
You guys were sitting next to each other, and you were like, "What if I do this?" And Alex, you were like, "Yeah, but if you get that multiplier, and you can add it here, and every single one, you were like, oh."
It was mind blowing. It's like, wow, that is kind of like maths.
Yeah.
No, brilliant game, and just kept coming back to it throughout the year. I think the updates helped as well. Like those added, just was enough just to tease me back a couple of times throughout the year, and yeah, love it. I think it's one that we'll all carry on dipping back into as and when. So yeah, it's just become a mainstay.
Great game. Like you're saying, out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Out of absolute nowhere.
love it.
It's gone nowhere for a long time.
Indeed. Alex, what else do you think we would put in our recommended 2024 list?
I mean, I think you know what the first thing is going to come out of my mouth.
I think
And
so.
it's
Utter bollocks. Oh, no.
pure shite. But it's Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. This game was so good I couldn't play anything after it for months. Which I remember you having that issue with a few times, Lewis.
Yes.
And I just could not pick anything up after this because I just loved it so much. Like, I know we're talking a bit in the last episode about how this game or this series just seems to be something that really works for me. But I mean, Infinite Wealth probably didn't live up to the highs of Like a Dragon. But and Kasuga is one of the greatest protagonists ever created. I think he is just such a great character. I think the wackiness of this game just went even up a notch to what they built into this game, like to have a fully fledged Pokemon game within a Yakuza game, but by collecting weirdos. And to be going round on a tram taking pictures of guys in pants with butterflies on them, to going and creating your Dondoku Island, which is basically like an Animal Crossing sim within the game. they just went over and above with everything, and yeah, the story maybe didn't quite hit the high notes of you could have the first Like a Dragon, but everything else just they nailed it. Like I'm still traumatized that this has not been more widely recognised for like award seasons because, and I don't know if it was just far too early in the year, but this game, like they never get recognised though, and whether that is because they just have their, what we were talking about, they have their blueprint and this is how their games play and this is what they do and they don't reinvent the wheel, they just add to it and add to it and add to it. But they deserve so much more praise and credit. Like, they do such a good job in making these games in quite a short period of time.
Yeah, no, they do. I wonder if, like, when it comes to the Game Awards in general, like the big Game Awards, well, they're tomorrow at the day that this releases is when the Game Awards are. So this is really the big Game Awards, right?
Yeah,
now.
this is it's actually giving the credit to the games that deserve it.
Exactly. I've always thought there's a little bit of snobbery towards overtly Japanese games that, or just not westernized games as much. So, and I think Yakuza and Like a Dragon falls into that a little bit. It's a bit, they obviously FromSoft is the exception because I think they're quite westernized in the way they design stuff. But yeah, it's a shame. But like you're saying, those layers of depth they're not even mini games, are they? They're whole like side
you could put
games
that
in themselves, right?
Game. Like,
what? Because in the original Like a Dragon, I put a lot of time into that management sim one where you could just buy loads of businesses and rack up. But are those all these new ones? Are they like that scale? You could basically just spend.
They're bigger.
Right.
Right, so is it like the Pokemon one, or what's it called? The
Sujimon? Is it?
Sujimon, yeah. And you collected, but they built in a whole like gym battle, like so there was different. There was basically you had all these different levels of Sujimon and Sujimon trainers that you had to find throughout the map in Hawaii, and then you got to a certain level and you had to like evolve your Sujimon and stuff, and then you had to go to these different hotels in Hawaii, which were the gyms, and you had to beat the gym bosses, which were these, and you had just levels and levels. Like you could have played that bit of the game for probably 40 hours. Like,
so it's like the best Pokemon game in years, basically.
Yeah.
I wish I knew anything about these games. I think I've seen them on what ones are on Game. Are they all on Game Pass?
I think so.
Yeah.
So
like, this one isn't, is it?
This one isn't yet, but I'm sure it will be at some point.
Just thinking about like you after talking about the ones that you had played, I was like, yeah, maybe because I know nothing about them other than my main takeaway being not the game with a guy that's like on the toilet or coming out of a box or something
in a bin or something.
That's the only thing I've got.
That's it, Shiban. He's so lovable.
That's it, Shiban. Yeah, this is another one that's kind of, well, Black Ops 6 isn't really pile of shame, but it's a pile of shit. This is on my sort of pile of shame of stuff that I bought but haven't got around to yet so far this year. Because it's obviously, I mean, how many hours do you think you put into it?
Oh, it must have been 80 or 90.
Yeah.
I would say easy.
That's so daunting, isn't it?
It's a big commitment. And I suppose one thing just to come into my head there as you were talking about games that I had played, Lewis, and obviously going back to Zero, but this game brings Kiryu back and it's like a main character alongside who you're telling. And I think that's probably where it lets itself a little bit down in the story of this one, because you're telling a story for Ichiban and a story for Kiryu at the same time. Right. And neither of them probably go as far as they need to, whereas I think if you'd focused on one, it would have done a better job. But what it does do really well is it kind of mashes up Kiryu's like action combat with the turn-based combat and does a little bit of it together. So while you're turn-based and you become like Kiryu, you can, in your turn with Kiryu, you can actually start taking people out and fighting them rather than just picking a move like through your normal turn-based stuff. So it's quite a nice mash-up of the two.
Do you think that's a misstep bringing him back? Because obviously you said the last episode that 6 wraps up his story.
I mean, it's hard for me to tell it because I've not played them all.
Yeah,
but I think the kind of general feeling was they would have been better just kind of leaving them be and just letting Ichiban go, which I think is probably now where they'll go. It does feel like why bring him back now, and maybe it was just a story they were trying to tell, and like it does do quite a good job of that. But yeah, I'm not sure it was necessary to bring him back, but it worked quite nicely in terms of bringing him back and being able to use him as a.
Yeah.
But if they maybe done it with one of the other ones, like maybe not Kiryu, or maybe like bringing Majima or something in there instead of Kiryu. I don't know.
And Majima is going to be the star of the pirate one, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be funny. That'll be cool. So would you say, is this your top game of 2024?
So. I think so. Yeah. Between this and Belastro.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Lewis? What's, if you had to pick like your top, not to put you on the spot, but your top 2024 game, what would you say?
Well, it's probably, you could argue it shouldn't be included.
And the Lewis Wilson Award for Best 2024 Game Not of 2024 is...
I'm including it because it is bigger than most games, more fleshed out than most games, has a story that some games can only dream of, and that is Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree.
No, not having that.
Yeah, that's fine.
DLC's not allowed. No,
It's not set in the same place. It's a totally different land. Alex's rules, it's out.
You haven't finished it, so you can't really say.
I played 45 minutes. No, that's mine because it is. And I did weigh this up. I was like, it's probably the argument there for it not being included, but because it is so massive and there's so much to it, it is a game in itself. Like 100%. I think I can't remember how many hours I played the DLC for. 50 odd, I'm sure. A long time for DLC.
Yeah. Long time for a game. Like, how often do we look at games that are over 20 hours and go,
no chance.
Yeah.
No way. Yeah. I totally think it should be considered as a part of the broader Game of the Year conversation. Like,
and it is, isn't it? It's in the Little Game Awards, the Jeff Keighley ones.
Yeah, little Jeff. He's got it there. Which I think has been debated even more than Bellatro being there. Is this is only DLC? Like, it's not DLC. Like it's not just like horse armor.
Yeah.
Oh, Game of the Year is like they've made a whole other game in the same engine and stuck it onto this one rather than releasing Elden Ring Gaiden or something. Like, this is, which they could have easily done and then charged you another 60, 70 quid for it and you would applaud it. So, yeah. What is it? Is it just more of the same? Which is a great thing, if it is. But is there anything about it that you think differentiates it from the Elden Ring experience?
No. So I think having played Elden Ring first, so Smarky Mark. I think he started going through the DLC whilst he was mid-game. Whereas I think, kind of like how you'd watch Star Wars 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. You play the game first, the main game first, and then do the DLC afterwards. Because I think Elden Ring already is a colossal game to go through without adding this massive bit of extra in a separate land with its own story and its own, weapons and bosses, which make it totally different from the main game. I forgot what my point was, but I think I can't think of anything that would really differentiate it from it. It is more the same, but it does add to what's been there before. I don't know, it's tricky. It's like saying Dark Souls 1, 2 and 3. Dark Souls 1 and 3 are like basically the same place.
Right. The you mentioned the story there. Is again, we've spoken about this before. I didn't really get any story from Elden Ring besides I'm going about on this adventure, fighting some stuff and getting stronger. That was the story. But is there more of a story in Shadow of the Erd Tree?
So it kind of fleshes out Mikola,
Fuck knows. One of the M ones.
Melania's twin.
Right.
I get all my information from Fatty Vidya. That's who you need to go and watch. Go and watch their videos because they're amazing.
Can't stay awake long enough. It's too relaxing.
They're very. He's got such a great voice.
Yeah.
Such a great voice.
I was going to try and do it then. I can't do it.
I think you can do it.
Voice. No, I can't.
It's just kind of like this.
Yeah, that was it. It was good.
Sounds like someone I'd like to listen to.
Jamie talks about Elden Ring all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Wasted a good voice.
Yeah,
no, it's cool. I absolutely, this is on my pile of shame as well. Again, bought it. But I did the Lewis thing, actually. And I held off buying it day one. I was like, nah, I've had my time with Elden Ring. Like, I've got nothing to prove anymore.
So you did, and you never bought it, yeah.
Yeah, but then I eventually did buy it. I was like, I am getting the urge.
The urge tree.
The urge tree. But I just never. I'm a bit intimidated to start it, to be completely honest with you. I'm a bit like, because I went back into my Elden Ring save and got to the point where you can start the DLC, and thought, I'll just go down this lift and.
Had you not done it?
This was prior to it coming out. I'd gone because you have to get to that certain place at Moog's Blood Palace or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So I went there, teleported there, and then thought, okay, I can see the thing where I have to do the thing, go into the egg or whatever the fuck it was, and I was just thought, all right, I'll just go down this lift and fight some guys just to see if I can remember. Nothing at all. Couldn't remember a thing. Couldn't remember how to cycle through my spells or what different potions I would take to make my spell, like my magic, last longer and stuff like that. And I was like, the cheese magic is gone. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I can't fight these people. I'm sure I'd pick it up eventually, but it's just like the thought of jumping into something that's like a higher level than the start of the game is just too intimidating.
Yeah. Understandable.
But yeah, that's a good pick. I'd almost forgotten about that.
But that would be my top. It's tough, but I say it's tough. I think it's quite a bit above everything else on my list. That's including Balatro.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I stuck to my guns on this one and always said, I'm never going back to Elden Ring, and I haven't gone back to Elden Ring.
Yep.
Like, nah, not for me. Yeah. Thanks very much. I enjoyed my time, but I'm done.
There is an element of like, no, I've proven I can play a game like that. Like you were saying last week, Alex, how you've like changed as a gamer, matured a little bit. Like, yeah, I can play games like that if I want to, but I don't want to. So I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Is it because since finishing Elden Ring you played Loop Hero, and Loop Hero has a pause mechanic and you can't actually pause in Elden Ring, the game still goes on in the background?
Yeah, exactly. Those are the two. Yeah, the two entities. I have also got a game that I believe stands head and shoulders above all else for me as my 2024
I can
game
guess
of the
what
year.
this is.
Well, I think you probably can.
He's not wearing that t-shirt though, is he?
No. But I have got the Steelbook.
He doesn't steal it.
Close to hand. Last time we spoke about Metaphor Refantasio, I was at the 20-hour mark.
Halfway given up.
Exactly. And we joked about, I'm halfway to giving up. Haha. Funny. I am now at the 96 hour
sake.
mark and have beaten Metaphor Refantasio at 96 hours. And it is an all-timer for me.
Oh, really?
It's got me questioning
Life.
life. Well, I have been in an absolute, like we've said, sometimes when you finish a big game, like you were with Infinite Wealth, Alex, I don't know what to do with myself now. Like, I'm literally, like, I was just so brought up in it and caught up in it and bought into it. The characters are memorable. Like, I have affection for each of them. You spend enough time with characters, that's bound to happen, right? And some of them, you're like, yeah, whatever. But there's no shitty characters. There's no annoying ones. They're not even that tropey either. So even if you look at like Persona 5 Royal, which I've said since finishing that was like my favorite game of all time.
Yep.
There's still tropey characters. Like Ryuji is still your typical high school jock bellend. The Anne is still just like the ditzy hot girl. This has got much more fleshed out, interesting characters that are just like, oh yeah, I'm going to go and hang out with my sexy
ditzy
little
hot jock
rabbit friend. Yeah, all that. And it just doesn't have. It feels a bit less. And getting back to your point, Alex, about or what we said about kind of Japanese games maybe not getting some of the credit. I think this feels less. It's got less of that cringe factor that a Persona game. Like it's not. It helps that it's not set in a high school, and you're not trying to romance anyone. So it takes all of that. This is a bit kind of too weird for me thing out of it. And it just you can just focus on playing what is a fantastic story. Like
No giant men in nappies or anything in this one.
no, unfortunately not. No, there's some weird shit though.
Does it challenge Persona 5 Royal?
Yeah, it does. It's got
Yeah.
me thinking. It's got me really thinking hard about, and I'm letting it sit in because I know I'm prone to making these sort of snap judge. Oh, this is the greatest work of art of all time. So I'm letting it sit for a few weeks before deciding. But it is easily my 2024 game of the year.
This is on my shame pile. Well, not shame pile because it's not. This is not a game I would ever generally play.
No.
Anyway, but as I said, maturing tastes.
Yep.
It is one I'm definitely going to play. When I don't know, but I will get to it eventually. It's a big
one.
commitment again.
It is.
So
but,
you're at 96. When did you finish it?
at 96.
Oh, so I thought you meant like you continued playing.
No. So yeah, I rolled credits at 96 hours. My save file is 96 hours. That's completing all quests. I didn't leave anything on the table. Like it was all did every single side
Completionist
quest.
run.
Yeah, almost. I mean, there's loads of trophies still to get, but in terms of like, I actually wanted to finish the quest, and it's not like I was doing it because I want to get a trophy for it. I was doing it because I was interested in what little bit of story was going to unfold from doing that quest, or what, getting into more fights. Oh, great. I can go to this little mini dungeon and level up a few times and get into the battles. The battle system's exquisitely refined, even compared to Persona 5 Royal, which I think was excellent anyway. This is just like, I love a JRPG, but I don't know. I barely ever use buffs when I'm in a JRPG because I'm like, make your attack stronger for 3 turns. Like, why the fuck would I do that? Like, I've genuinely never done that. It's just like, just shoot a big fireball at them, whatever. it's a waste. It's a waste of a turn to just buff or debuff the enemy or stuff. I was getting really into that. I was like, right, well, this one hasn't got any weaknesses, so I'm going to cast weakness to wind, and then I'm going to pass over to my protagonist who's got this powerful wind attack. And it was just, and I was getting into that more, and I was subbing in different party members as well, which again is something I've never really done. I'm just like, okay, these are my 4. These are the strongest ones. You know, I'll stick to them. I was swapping constantly just because different enemies called for different strengths and approaches and stuff. And I cared about the characters. I'm like, Heismay hasn't been in for a while. I'll just drop him in. You know, and it sounds silly, but like, yeah, every single party member, and even I'd say probably like the majority of your followers who are like your social links, I enjoyed that element of it as well. Like it didn't feel like, you know, in Persona where you are leveling up your social links and you're not really sure when you're going to unlock the next level of them. Mm. It's all really clear in this and all really simple, and I think it just takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
Okay.
I could easily talk about this for an hour, like the whole, like the archetype system compared to the Persona system. So it allows you to kind of basically morph. Imagine like creating a Persona, but creating it to your will, like almost mixing job classes and going, well, I like this attack from this one, but I also like this attack and this whatever from another one. And you can just mix and match to your heart's content. Fucking brilliant. Brilliant. Really strongly recommend anyone with even just a passing interest, if you even think you might like an Atlas game or a JRPG, like this is definitely the one to start with. So much more approachable than the others.
You make me want to play even more.
Yeah. And Tyler's picked it up because he's always fancied dabbling in an Atlas game. So we did a little deal, and he's got it for Steam. So we got got the physical.
When you get the game, you get the future.
We got so I kept the steelbook, and he got the code, and I was happy with that. Piece of metal.
Yes.
But yeah, but it's, you know, when you like a game that much, you're like, yeah, I want to get some sort of tat to show for it. And yeah, it's just brilliant. It nods to previous Atlas games galore, like, and I don't want to like talk too much about like specifics, but it's just, yeah, I miss playing it. Like, I'm sad that I'm not playing it anymore. Like, genuinely, I have thought, maybe I could play it on the Steam Deck as well. Like, start it from scratch. Like, it's left a big hole. Yeah.
Does it feel like, when you think that, do you also think, man, I can't be bothered?
Oh yeah,
Need to do.
Yeah, that is very much the prevailing sentiment. Is obviously I'm not going to play it again, but the fact that I have got that sort of that little come down afterwards. Yeah. So I've just been playing kind of bits and bobs since then, trying to find something that fills that void.
Interesting, very interesting. I'm looking forward to time passing and then for you to place it on your top 10.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
it makes it after time.
I don't think I can have Persona 5 Royal and this in my top 10. I think I would have to.
Why not?
I mean, I could obviously, but I think.
That's because when we did it, I had Breath of the Wild in, and I swapped it out for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want both the same.
But yeah, let's do that again sometime in a future episode. Revisit that. But yeah, easily my top game of the year with a bullet.
Wow.
Wow. But Alex, to shut me up from talking about Metaphor any longer, what else? What else is in your?
I think this is one we probably. I'm not sure it would make all our lists, but I think we need to talk about it, and that's Astrobot.
Oh.
Because, I mean...
I thought it was going to be the first game that you spoke about. Was Astrobot.
I've still not finished it.
Really?
Yeah, not for mainly because I've been playing out with the wee one, and just not. It's not been the flavour of the month. So it's taken time, and I've shown great restraint, not from just going and doing it myself. So
That's good.
But I mean, that game came out, and everybody loved it. Again, there's an element of nostalgia in that game. There definitely is. It maybe doesn't. I don't know. I think looking back at what I've played and I haven't finished it, I still probably enjoyed Astro's Playroom more. And I don't know if it's just the way they did it, the tighter package, even the way they did all the speed runs. I don't like the way they've come and like released one level at a time over time and like each few weeks and whatever. I just feel like if we'd have had all that at once and you could have totally got into it and it would have it just hasn't kept up the kind of same momentum that I think you kind of got at that time when the PS5 released and Astro's Playroom released and we were all playing it and chasing all those different times and the combined leaderboard and all that stuff. I think it suffers a wee, but I mean, you can take nothing away from the quality, the level of polish, the creativity, everything about this game is just, it's been the best game I would say that Sony have released in a reasonable amount of time. And it deserves to be up there. Absolutely deserves to be up there.
Yeah.
Agreed.
No arguments from me.
Yeah, like in terms of I think it relies quite heavily on nostalgia. And if you strip all that away, I don't think people would be shouting about it quite as much, but it's still a good game.
Yeah, I think that's fair as well. I think I wouldn't say it uses it as a crutch, but it definitely is like the sheen on top of it, isn't it? It's like it's a very well constructed game that does a lot of what we've seen before in 3D Mario games primarily. But it's a confident game. I think that's the thing. It comes across like I always respect the ability to throw out a brilliant idea for one level and then just never go back to it again.
Yeah.
I'm always like, wow, some games would make this their whole mechanic, and you've just chucked it in a level. Like the cheese one stands out, right? We mentioned it on our spoiler cast bit when we did the Astrobot episode. That it's just like to be able to throw in something that fucking cool and then just go, all right, there you go, next. It's just, brilliant design. I love it. I haven't actually gone back to any of those speed run levels. Have you guys?
I haven't either.
No. It's weird. I don't know why I haven't felt the urge, because I was so into it for like that first. Well, I think I blitzed through it in a weekend. Like, just like loved it.
And I think that was probably to my point. Whereas if all that was available at that point in time, then we would have been into it and we would have all been fighting against each other on it. Whereas I think the way they've kind of spoon fed it just hasn't really paid dividends, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe not for us. Maybe for
others potentially.
Yeah, maybe for like, I don't know, for like a kid who this is. I don't even know if this happens anymore, but do kids just get like one game nowadays and just go, oh, my one game that I've got, I can go back to it with new content? Is that? I don't even know if that happens now.
So. I'm sure there are some. I'm saying probably not, but.
Yeah, you're right.
There probably are
is.
kids out there that it probably does.
Yeah. No, it's heck of a game, and it is. I mean, it's on my. Obviously, I was being a massive nerd, made an actual top 10 list.
Of course,
and it is, and it is on there as well.
Very remarkable too.
Yeah. What else is on your remarkable one list?
Remarkable one.
Can we just hear
right
that?
Here.
Oh, lovely.
Hear that? Lovely. But yours can't. Does the remarkable 2 do that?
No, it doesn't actually. Let me try. No. Nothing.
Maybe the remarkable 3 will combine both elements of remarkable 1 and 2.
What else is on your list?
Right, I remember mumping about this, having a good old grump about this game at the time.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
Which
You're
is not
going to
bad.
have to give us more clues than that, I'm afraid.
Has matured nicely in my mind. A game that I don't think there's any one way to beat it. There are challenges within the game that can be overcome in a variety of ways.
I think I know what this is.
Do you know?
I think so.
It's Animal Will.
Yeah.
I remember having a proper moan, being like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do it. And I was really struggling with bits and pieces. And, you know, it took I'd say it is a Metroidvania. Would you?
Yeah.
It took it and kind of chucked what a Metroidvania is out the window and went, well, we're going to do this. And I love it for that.
Yeah.
It's such a clever, difficult at time games. You don't really know what's going on. And it released it feels like so long ago. Maybe like March or April or something like that. I can't remember when it was.
Yeah,
But,
I think around about that time.
Something like
was it?
I don't know.
Definitely a month of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
I'll find that out for you.
Okay.
Thanks. But yeah, it's one I kind of want to go back to.
What, to do all the little secrets and...
Yeah.
Because I rolled credits on it, but I felt like I scratched the surface of what there is there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's stylishly, it's a cool game.
Yep.
See that imagery? Very 80s style, I would say. With the sort of neon LED style graphics at times. It's really cool. So yeah, Animal Will up there. I no longer want to complain about it.
And that was
good.
me, at least. It was me.
May. There we go.
It was me. Okay.
Alex,
And this is another one that I always intended in playing, and then I never quite got around to playing it. And it was almost that kind of period of with all these Metroidvanias that came out quite quickly, because you had this, you had
Lost Crown.
Lost Crown, and then you had Tales of Kinzera, which was another one that I always had in my list, which probably now doesn't have the best subject matter to go and play. But I think they all get lost for me, and we probably will talk about the Lost Crown at some point. But
Lewis won't.
no,
Never again.
but that I don't know, something about this didn't appeal to me, and I don't know why, but I do want to try it, because I feel like I probably, if it clicked, I would enjoy it. But it's just not. Out of the three of those, this is probably the one I want to play the least.
Yeah, I get
It's
that.
quite obtuse. I would
Very obtuse. I would say, if you had a gun to my head and said, right, is Alex going to like this game or not? I would say no.
say. I would say no.
And also, there's no need for the gun. Just ask me, because I think it is that combination of, like you said, pixel art isn't really your thing, and it is quite obtuse, and it's got that sort of Fez up its own arseness about it a little
Right.
bit, which, yes, is wonderful, and hey, might win a Seamus McNally grand prize. But for me, I found it really compelling, and I wanted to see it through, but I don't know whether I enjoyed it that much. Like, it's not on my top 10. It's like it's an honourable mention as like a cool game for me, but not up there with the big guns, I'm afraid.
And that's fair enough.
But
That's fair enough.
but a well loved, and I respect the shit out of it as a work of art, but not my bag. 100%.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't take
fine.
it personally.
So my next one is another Atlas game. So that's Unicorn Overlord.
Oh, it's on mine.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
I bought it. I haven't played it, but I bought it.
There we go. That's half the battle. I just fucking loved it. Really, I think this has really been the year that I've realised how much I like turn-based tactical games and things like that, and just being able to think out my battles and plan them out without having to just mash buttons and stuff like that. And yeah, I love the strategy element of it. Story, if you ask me what the story was now, I don't think I could tell you. But yeah, I just yeah, no. But the actual gameplay of it was just really different. I never played anything like it.
Yeah.
With that whole hands-off auto battle system was took a bit of getting used to, but
It did.
by the end of it, I was, if I could really optimize this unit by moving this person out to this one and it was like, yeah, just proper nerdy shit. But yeah, loved it, and the gorgeous like art style. Just every new scene you got to was just like a reward in itself, because all that lovely vanillaware art.
It was nice.
Yeah, special.
Beautiful.
Special game. Yeah, really recommend it. I've noticed like over Black Friday, I saw it drop down in price a fair bit, and have to really stop myself from recommending it to everyone, because I don't think it is for everyone. But
There's the demo. There is still a demo on Switch, at least.
a lengthy one, actually. Yeah, it's a good point.
10 hours.
Yeah.
And the save
Yeah.
carries over. I think.
Yep. In fact, that's a great point. I played the whole of the demo on PS5, and liked it so much that I then bought it on Switch and started from scratch again, rather than. And that's saying quite a lot, because normally you'd be like, well, I don't want to have wasted that 10 hours, but I was like, no, I want this portably. I want the physical copy of it. £55, I think I paid for the physical, which was more than I've ever paid for a game in my life, I think.
Yeah, I think we spoke about that, because I was like,
Yeah,
we've got like Tears of the Kingdom for £15 less.
I don't know.
No deals.
But didn't regret it, because I loved every minute of that game.
Yeah, great game.
It's a cracker. What about you, Alex? Any other
There's a few.
big
I mean,
ones? Go on.
I've mentioned the Lost Crown, and I think the Lost Crown would have been up there for me if I hadn't got the game Bacon Bug, which was spoken about, and I still haven't got over. Like, we've spoken about that at the time.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, there's a game that I have talked about the game. Many episodes. And I've just checked Steam, and I have 77.6 hours
Fucking hell.
I don't know what this is.
of Halls of Torment.
There we go.
And this is a game, again, we have, I mean, it probably where it really generated Survivor's Corner. This is the one that kind of like cemented it, isn't it? Like,
Yep.
this game just clicked. It's unapologetic, knows what it is, does it incredibly well. I'd recommend this to anyone that likes Vampire Survivors. Like, that simple. Like, it's not a lot more to say about it. Like, it is what it is. It's a Survivors like, but slightly different art style. It's like the Survivors like of like the next console generation. Is that maybe almost
Like a
kinda,
like a 16-bit, like an upgrade from Vampire.
Yeah.
Right, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
but it's just so good. So good. It's not when you're thinking of this is a personal game of the year for me. This is not me sitting going, this is the best game that you're ever going to play. But it's a very, very good game for what it is, and it does it all very, very well. So yeah, it has to be on my list. If I didn't put that on my list, that would be like me not putting Master Noise at the top of my VR list. Like, it would be an injustice. Like,
Yeah. I'm adding that to my pile of shame as we speak, because I think I'd like it as well.
You need to try it. You need to at least give it a go.
Yeah. Everything you've said about it, every time we talk about it, I'm like, okay, I need to play this.
You would like
I
it.
know, yeah, we talk about a lot of games, and sometimes we go, yeah, I'll get around to that. Every time we talk about this, I'm like, I know I would like that.
I mean, maybe that's the game that you need, that you've been waiting on.
Maybe.
It might be.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah. What about you, Lewis? Any others like hovering around your. Not this isn't your official third favourite game of 2024, but like
No.
you know.
Well, like I had Unicorn Overlord on there.
Yep.
Like Balatro, so the games have been mentioned already, but it's actually the last one on my list.
Yeah.
And I yummed it up, and that was Crypt Custodian.
So
Delightful.
you finished
little-
it, did you?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't think we spoke about that. I know we spoke about you started it and enjoying it, but I don't think we knew.
Yeah, I finished it. Love a lovely game. Just very heartfelt and nice. And it's got a bit of a bastard in it, but it's a game. Yeah. I recommended this to Mark. It's Marky Mark.
Yeah,
Here he comes.
of
His
course.
name crops up again. Because it is a him game. It's a Mark game, definitely. But just a nice story, quite sad. There's a box tick. Is it happy?
Yeah.
Yes. Lewis doesn't want to play that rubbish.
Do people like it? Not really. Okay, I'm back in.
Yeah, I think it came. I was just on a whim. I played the demo, and I was like, "This is really good," and
Yeah.
I just didn't hesitate on buying it because sometimes you can hum and haw about picking something up. I was like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and play this, and it was really, really good. Cool game.
Yeah, it's such a you game. Such
So
a
let's
Lewis
say
game.
how many games this year have I played that I've got a cat? I'm pretty sure Nine Souls is like a
Too
cat
many.
like. Too many.
Yeah.
I
Played Little
that.
Kitty Big City.
I did play a bit of it, yeah.
There you go. Another one.
Played enough of it to never go back to it again. But
Oh, mate. So it's not on my top 10 list, but it is one of my honourable mentions
is it?
as a fun little time. Yeah. I think we mentioned a lot of my honourable mentions anyway.
There's one I forgot to mention, and that would have been Mini Shoot Adventures.
That is on my top 10 list as a, I think that is a really
It's
special
a
one.
game that Lewis would absolutely love.
Yes, guaranteed. Twin stick shooter / top down Zelda.
Like, yeah.
An action game if ever there was one.
Shit, yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's brilliant. In fact, let me just say so where is that on my list? Well, we know, right, so the top 3 are Balatro at 3, Unicorn Overlord at 2, Metaphor ReFantasio at 1. Then at number 10, and I don't think we've spoken about this on the podcast because I think this came out before we started. There's 1,000 Times Resist.
Oh yeah. It's another
And
one
I-
that's on my 2 playlist, and it's
Yeah, I mean, have at it. It's in the family library. I've never played anything like it. It's super quirky, very kind of narrative heavy, mad sci-fi story. That's just I would say it's probably the most interesting game I've played this year. It was an outright like, interesting. Do I understand? No, but I'm interested.
I'm interested.
Yeah. And then number 9 was Echoes of Wisdom. Really loved that.
I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yeah. Closely, then number 8 was Mini Shoot Adventures. So that was the best Zelda game I played this year. Mini Shoot Adventures. Then Astrobot at 7. I had Tactical Breach Wizards at 6.
Oh, you like that? Yeah.
Fucking loved that. Hilarious writing, great battles, everything else. Arco at 5. Disappointed that Phil didn't feel as strongly, and I think Sean as well bought it with the credit that he won from us from our 10th episode. I don't think he was that fussed on it either, but I maintain that it's a 10 out of 10 video game, and I really loved that one.
Die by that hill.
I'll die on that hill. And then number 4 for me was Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess.
It's another one I need to play.
Yeah, you really do. That's a fucking weird game, but brilliant. Right. Again, just mixing, like we spoke about Thronefall last week, kind of mixes that RTS and tower defense kind of stuff. And but very cool, very stylish. Love it.
I forgot to see how good Indiana Jones was.
Oh, incredible video game. But yeah, have you guys got any like honourable mentions or anything else?
Not from this year.
Okay. Well, whatever. Go. Anything goes.
So I was going through my games, and that's basically all the games from this year that I played, like that were released this year. And Tales of Kinzera's out also. I played that, I mentioned before.
Yeah.
But honourable mentions to Tales of Iron that came out last year before.
Yeah.
Loved that. Metrovania. Haiku the Robot. Metrovania. Great little game.
Yep.
Last week I spoke about Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Guess what that is? Metrovania.
From last year.
And the first game that I finished this year, picked back up, and I want to go back again to replay it and watch all of the episodes, is Quantum Break.
Wow.
Really enjoyed that. Picked it
Remedy,
back up
isn't
after
it?
like a year. A Remedy game, yeah.
I mean, you've not actually mentioned Alan Wake 2.
With the
Was
DLC.
that last year? The DLC?
That was last year.
Oh,
The
so it was.
DLC, whereas
Night Springs was this year, wasn't it?
In the Lake House.
they both were, but they're small enough. They're quite small.
So we
I
don't
would
count
say-
them like
I'm not gonna
like
count
Erd
them.
Tree. Okay.
Trees, like significant. Night Springs and the Lake House. Night Springs was they're both all right, but I wouldn't put them up there. I wouldn't include.
I've still got the. You say Night Springs, and I can still remember the song because this
Yeah.
was one of our first episodes of this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we used that. Oh, Night Springs.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Looking
Like,
cute in a
almost
human
makes you
suit
wanna
or something like that. Like that's the
Yeah.
words. Great.
Oh, it's so weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Wake.
Alex, you
No,
look like you
also-
were consulting your list.
I was really looking through it, and I totally forgot about Thank Goodness You're Here. And again, I know Ben,
Oh,
you didn't
yeah.
really, but I mean, I really enjoyed that. There's another little puzzle one, like Arranger, which was really cool. I liked that. Busby Island, do you remember my bus game? I liked my bus game. That was a good game. Not on top 10 list. Tetris Forever, which is not going to be in anybody's top 10 list. But I loved that. Like, I finished it now, been through all the stories, played the new game mode. Like, but it's Tetris. I love Tetris. There's been quite
I'd
a
really
lot of
like
good
to
games
play
this
that.
year.
I think it's been a really good year. It got to the point where like halfway, I'm like, actually, I am loving a lot of games that are coming out.
'Cause, I mean, you even think there's other ones we've not mentioned, like Cryptmaster. Like,
Yep.
really cool, like, indie games, like, that have just
Yeah.
tried to do something a wee bit different.
Celeste 64. Either of you guys play that?
No.
No.
Really cool. Like, for someone that doesn't really like N64 style games, I thought they adapted Celeste superbly to it. And it's only a little couple of hours, a little jaunt, but it worked. Like, it makes me think, just build out a whole 3D Celeste game. I'll be all over it.
So you could be like Pico Celeste, and 64 Celeste.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I know I've not really had a year of racing games, as Lewis, you alluded to. But I mean, there have been a couple, like, and I'm probably more towards your Wipeout, Ben, but Phantom Spark we really liked.
We did, yep.
We really liked
Strong.
Phantom Spark. There was some big monster truck games that I quite liked. The Monster Jam,
Yeah.
that was quite good. There was also a Hot Wheels stunt one that came out recently that I played that I don't think I've actually spoken about.
No.
It's more aimed at kids, but it's probably quite good for my level of gaming. And that's quite fun. But I mean, it's just it has. Like, there's loads I've probably forgotten about. Like, loads of games I'd never heard of. Like, it's been a great year for just trying different shit.
Yeah.
Like, see something like Roll Glass, which we've spoken about. Like, I would never touch that until and you seen it. And I'm like, again, just really simple little things. It's probably been the year of embracing Steam.
Yes.
Really. Lewis.
Absolutely.
It's been the
That's-
year of embracing Steam.
And the Steam Deck for me has been a game changer as well. Like, for even yeah, playing stuff like Celeste 64. I mean, like, obviously you could only get it through some. I can't even remember how I got it, but whether it's itch.io or whatever it was. But even something like mouth washing that I spoke about several weeks ago, like I would have never played that before, but played it.
50.
Loved it. UFO, fucking amazing. I mean, that some of those games could be in my top 10. Like it's that good. And the only reason I'm not even contemplating UFO 50 is because I don't think I've played enough of it to even vouch for it that hard. But yeah, brilliant. I think Tekken 8 is another one for me that I loved.
Tekken 8 was good, yeah.
So good. Like perfect fighting game. Absolutely, yeah, blitzed through it, and it's like there's little pockets of weekends and weeks where I'd just gone hardcore on a game, and it's just, and I can just picture that moment in time, and that
Platinum that in
Yeah.
record time. Like,
yeah, I couldn't get enough of that. Really, really loved it.
Helldivers 2.
Yeah, I think there's that Helldivers 2. Obviously, I think I literally played it once or maybe twice. What about you guys? Alex, you played it more than that.
I played it more than that. I think it was very good for what it was, but I mean, I was never going to fall in love with a game like that. It's just not my, it's not my cup of tea.
No.
I think I played it once on my own, and I was like, this is rubbish. Then I played it once with some random person, and I just couldn't be bothered. So I just like, the equivalent, I just like turned the computer off because I was like, I can't be fucked. So just left them with like whatever they had to do. I was like, just do not want to have to deal with this.
Yeah, I get it. And that reminds me, pour one out for Concord as well. That that one session we had on that, Alex,
That
was
so good, yeah.
the greatest time of my life.
And I also did forget something, which I think it goes in the vein of it was the Torment, but Deep Brook.
Galactic Survivors, yeah.
Yeah, which is another one that I really enjoyed. A great.
Is that this
standout
year
game.
as well?
Yeah, I think
that's...
But it's certainly only been it was this year because I mean you only got your Steam Deck this year and
yeah. That's definitely should be in my honourables as well. I think the biggest omission for all of us is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
yeah. I don't think any of us have touched it, have we?
No.
No, I haven't touched the first one.
Last one. I've touched it. That's about it. Like,
yeah. Oh, there it is.
that was probably as long as I played it, but it was long enough to get bored.
I've barely played any Final Fantasy game. So
No, same. But I am interested in that, and I feel like I should do my due diligence as the resident weeb amongst us.
Indeed.
Which reminds me, I have started Stellar Blade as well, which came out this year, and more of that on a future episode, I would say, because
Need some jiggle physics updates.
yeah, I need to delve into that a little bit more. But yeah, a lot of games.
It's
been a good year.
Games.
And lots of stuff left on the table as well. Just even now, Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door. Bought that. Never touched it.
How about that? Dropped it like a rock.
Oh, so you actually started it?
Yeah. I got very frustrated with it.
Smark was saying on Blue Sky, I forget how long ago, but that this has been the year that he's finally tried Mario RPGs and just decided that they're not for him. And I am inclined to say the same.
Yeah.
Although I haven't tried Thousand Year Door, but I'll be very surprised if it changes my mind.
It was just one of them. You know, I've said it before on games, like when I spoke about, what was that crap I didn't like because it made a stupid noise. It just wasn't what I was looking for. Whatever.
Oh, the game with the stupid noise. Aye.
The stupid noise game. What was that?
What? Elder Lilies? No, Ender
That's
Lilies.
the one.
Quietus of the Nights.
That's the one. And everyone was like, I don't know what noise you're talking about, Lewis. I've not noticed anything. Well, I did, right? Big stupid gong-like noise. And that was in Thousand Year Door, was when you got to like a boss. Normally you would get like a warp pipe would show up and you'd have to, it would take you back to where you need to go. But it was just like you would walk back through, here we go. Actually, there's going to be a common theme here. Walk back through empty rooms to get back to the start. And it really annoyed me. I was like, I'm not having this.
That's been the worst thing about 2024, isn't it? There's those big empty rooms.
Big empty rooms. Big empty rooms.
Developers, sort your shit out.
Put a warp pipe there. Don't make me traipse back through that big empty room. Multiple big empty rooms.
Any other business for 2024? Games of the year?
No doubt I've forgotten something, but no,
Oh,
I think that's me for now. But just wait for the next episode where we like do many redactions.
Yeah. Exactly. But that's the beauty of it. There'll always be more episodes. And we're doing this nice and early in December, so we can always squeeze in some corrections.
Can indeed.
And obviously we started the show with a game that we unanimously agree is one of the best games of 2024. And I think it's only right that we end the show in the same vein. Ooh. So how about we play a little game called Guess the Outro Turbo! Yeah, I never know what's going to come out, but Lewis, you started shaking your head, and I was like, does he mean no, we're not going to do it?
Yeah, I messaged because I'm wilting, but let's just do it anyway.
Oh, shit, sorry, I missed that. All right, well, okay, we've introduced
Let's do it, turbo.
Let's do turbo. Right, let's go. Here's clue number one. This won the fucking hell the best emotional music award at the Emotional Game Awards, and I haven't made that up.
Pass.
Is this the Game Awards where they just all start crying?
Is it an indie?
Yes.
It's an indie.
Captain name and title.
No.
Does it feature an animal as the lead protagonist?
No. Fucking hell.
Is this is it a platformer? Is it a puzzle game? Oh. Is it a RPG? Is it a racing game?
Platformer, puzzle game, RPG, or racing
remember,
game?
It's emotional. Damn it.
No, none of them.
Emotional racing game.
The emotion
Pacific
engine.
Drive, there's emotion in that, isn't there?
Yeah, Wipeout, super emotional.
Yeah.
Will we try publisher?
Did he say no to that, I assume?
He said no, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a narrative. I should have said narrative.
Come on.
Is it a narrative game?
Is there a story?
Is there a story? Do I care about it?
There is a story. Yes.
Right, give us the next clue.
Yes, a story. Okay, next clue is Games Radar called this game brave, challenging, and essential.
Essential?
Or could it be something like What Remains of Edith Finch or something like that?
Potentially.
So is that an Annapurna game?
Good question. Come on, Ben.
Oh, sorry, you're asking me?
Yes.
No, it's not an Annapurna game.
So
No.
it's not What Remains of Edith Finch then.
That knocks quite a few out because you think Annapurna emotion.
They
Emotions.
go for like essential.
Let's make this the fastest turbo
Let's
ever.
do it.
Come on,
Let's
question
do it.
7.
Question 7. Is this game in the third person?
No.
No.
Not
So it's first
third
person then. Oh, it doesn't mean it's first person, I guess.
No. It's not puzzle. So you're not...
No.
I guess puzzle games are in the third person, really.
You
Because
could
you're
be a
looking
box
down.
or something.
You could be a box.
Like, are you an
could be
inanimate
a
object? Are you an inanimate object?
No, I am not an inanimate object.
You see how seriously we're taking this one, listeners.
Yeah. You're actually doing all right if you Take one step back.
think about
it. Just think, yeah.
Think.
So the question was that emotional music. You're not third person, so you're. Could it be something like Journey or something?
Is that not third person?
Flower. But you're not an It's a flower. You're like a flower or a leaf or something, aren't you?
I've never played it. I had no idea. I thought you were a person going towards a light.
That's Journey. I think.
I thought so. Is that what you said?
But then I went on to Flower.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Same kind of thing. Is Journey not that you're not the person though? You're like watching the person.
I don't know.
I don't know.
How would you? I think you don't call that third person. I have literally no idea.
You control. Yeah, it's third person. You're controlling the character that you see. So it
is third person.
No, Journey. I'm just
Right.
clarifying. Like, so you don't
So it's
get
not
too
Journey then.
confused
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Was the game? I was going to say console exclusive, but it's an indie, so I would assume not. Be across many different consoles, maybe even on the personal computer. Is this, Alex? What do you think we should do? We should try and narrow down a year.
I don't think it would help that much.
Emotional Game Awards getting made up.
I know a made up Game Awards are nearly as prestigious as the Coolies.
Stick with.
But like Spiritfarer, that's emotional.
That is emotional.
But yeah, that's third person.
There you go. Right, you got 2 questions left. To speed this up, Lewis, you said about, is it a console exclusive?
Yes.
Maybe there's something in that area.
Potentially. Let's go down a different path. I'm not going to ask if it's a console exclusive because you go, no.
No, that's it.
Yeah, we should do.
Could be like, is it a Switch? It makes me feel like it's like a Switch game or something then if it's like...
Is this
Question
game,
9. Lewis
Question
needs to go
9.
for a poo. Come on.
does it happen? Is it a console exclusive?
After all that, you're the one in the rush. Yes, it's a console exclusive.
Hot console.
But that's question 10. Like, I feel like, you don't get many indie exclusives outside the Switch.
Out with.
Sorry, Ben, out with the Switch.
Come on, guys. This is a
Out with that
predominantly Scottish
Nintendo
podcast.
ecosystem. So what are like Switch? But then didn't you have something like, was there not like a Super Giant game that was only on PlayStation? Was that Pyre? Because Pyre...
No idea.
Is that a Super Giant game?
No,
Okay. No,
it's not a Super Giant game.
10th clue.
Right.
10th... Oh, you know what.
Okay. So, Lewis,
Aye.
you said something a few moments ago,
Well,
possibly, let's say 4 or 5 moments ago. You said you were describing a game about a person going towards the light. That's your clue.
see if this is Spiritfarer.
It's not Spiritfarer though.
It can't be based on the answers to the questions.
No. It's not a console exclusive. So what games feature someone going towards the light on the Switch?
Going towards the light. Can I ask an 11th question?
Depending on what it is,
Have we played this game? Have we played this game? Any of us played it?
I know for sure that I've played it,
Right,
and
okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Troll
I'm
through some
pretty.
shit.
I'm pretty sure that you've both played it as well. If I had to bet either way, I would say you've both played it.
Emotional indie. Oh,
First person going towards the
potentially.
light.
Go towards the light. See these clues, Ben. What was your clue before?
Before you said that,
Yes.
you'll never know. Well, I might tell you after. But I think that's actually a much better clue.
Yeah, sure it is.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Me either. We're on a bad run of form here.
We are. Could you just tell us the other clue, just for the shits and giggles?
No. It would give it away too
Go
much.
towards the light.
You've got enough there.
I don't.
Was it a console exclusive?
Yes.
Emotional. Could be Ori.
No, that's not console exclusive.
Well, I guess it
And
was.
It's not. That's third person as well.
Oh, fuck's what is.
And a platformer.
And a platformer.
Oh,
yeah.
And a Metroidvania. Thrown in the towel?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, again.
Yeah.
You stand defeated. All right. Unlucky. You got really close. You said one game that was extremely similar to it. Well, and I thought you were going to get it from that
Which
point.
one?
Oh, you've lost, Alex. Just to clarify.
But which game is similar to it?
The game that was similar was What Remains of Edith Finch. When you said that, going towards the light, emotional.
Firewatch.
Nope. Okay, so my last clue was going to be Britain.
Oh, it's I have played this game. It was a PlayStation exclusive.
Yep.
The one where it's all the silhouettes, and you need to complete them when you're going towards it. Oh,
I have no idea what
you're
this is.
basically journeying through to get to this story, and it's what is it? What something? No, it's everybody's gone to the Rapture.
Yeah, there we go. Everybody's gone to the Rapture. Lewis, you have played
A load
it.
of absolute rubbish. I've not played that.
That was a
you not?
PlayStation exclusive. It's a
I wanna
PlayStation
play good
exclusive.
It's a good game. It's a really good game. Special, emotional.
Is that the one that's like
I really
artwork?
liked that game.
Like folk wearing masks?
Yeah.
Like quite
Yeah, I
cartoonish?
think it did. No, it wasn't cartoonish.
No.
It was because it was what Chinese Room made it.
Yeah. Set in rural England. Like a really... Is it like 80s? 80s, 90s?
80s, 90s. Yeah, it was like caravan parks and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
Vomit.
Oh, those are the days. So there we go.
sure.
Great
Forgot
game.
about that game. Yeah.
And submitted
clown,
by
yeah.
Grumpy Mark
Wow.
Hammond.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
He's probably
Thank
got
you,
a vinyl.
He probably has. It's nice soundtrack by Jessica Curry. And actually, he did choose the song that he wants to use. I won't go into too much detail because we're trying to speed this up, Lewis. I'm sorry. The song he chose was "An Early Harvest," which is lovely, and that's from "Everybody's Gone to the Rapture."